So this is a video update on Tuesday 12th of March. So it's been a few weeks and I actually didn't want to make this video update because I actually done a lot of work in the back end, and basically that means there's nothing really to show on the front end. But just to keep up with the pacing of the video, I thought I'd make this. But otherwise, let's see where we're at now with the game. So you probably won't see too much of a big difference, but the entire few weeks have been spent on optimizing this game. So as you can see on the top left hand side here, I now got an FPS counter. Now I haven't really exported this game to my iPad for a long time, and so at this stage I finally exported my game onto the iPad 1 just to realize that I'm running on a shocking 25 frames a second. Now that is horrific for games. Games should be running at 60 frames a second. Unlike films 25 per second, games is really laggy at 25 frames. And that was shocking. And so I'll spare all the details, but now I've pretty much spent a lot of time optimizing it, and now it's running smoothly at around 55 frames per second on the iPad 1. And those who know about all the work required to do that will understand. But just to quickly talk about what happened to get it down to that frame rate. Let's say, for example, the background. We can no longer use transparency as much anymore because transparency costs a lot of power. So previously I had a 2-layer background. Now I can only use 1-layer background. And I have to minimize shadows as much as possible. So previously the background accept light and shadows. Now it's just unlit. So unlit means it does not take into lighting, and that saves a lot of power. Similar with this HUD interface, I have to change all the shaders so that transparency becomes less process intensive. And all these new meshes. Now at the moment we've temporarily changed all the color to pink because we're experimenting with everyone using the same material and for optimization purposes. So hopefully later on we will use a technique called texture atlas to atlas all the textures for these guys. But yeah, at the moment a lot of things have been reduced and now it's running smoothly at 55 frames a second, which is awesome for iPad 1. Otherwise, other than optimization, there's a few cool stuff that I want to talk about. So a lot of new stuff. Let's see, to start off with some basic stuff. Franz, your nucleus animation is now random. So this little nucleus used to be rotating in circles constantly, but now I've added a bit of randomness to it, so it's not always rotating in circles. So quick change to that. Otherwise, a new mechanic that has been made. The lasso mechanic has been removed. So the infamous lasso mechanic has been replaced by Fruit Ninja slicing. So now we've got this little slice tool here. And previously we had to draw circles to kill the green spiky guys. But now we can just slice them off and the green spike will now just slice in half. So I had to redo the mesh so that the mesh of the spikes is able to cut in half with cool animations and all. So now we got this new slicing mechanic. It's really satisfying and much more intuitive than previously with the lasso. So that's a plus to the gameplay. We've got voice commentating. So if we have a look, if we score big combos, you'll hear my voice say a lot of cool stuff. So actually, let me try to get some combos. I'm not getting combos. Okay, you have to get a big enough combo to get it, but at the moment, there's not much of a combo happening. Let me try to spawn some nice stuff. And usually there's also text that pop out as well to tell you get a nice combo. But at the moment, I'm doing horrible and there is no combo. But if I do a combo of around, let's say 3 or 4, you can hear that I say stuff like cool or brilliant or awesome, like that. And then text also pops out to sort of tell you that you did well. And that sort of hopefully improves the gameplay to be more fun. Cool! And then what else is there? If you get 5 combo, you get a different commentating. 6 combo, 7 combo. So every increasing combo, you get a different voice commentating. So, you know, the better combo you get, the better commentating you get. But I'm getting crappy combos, so never mind. Alright. Otherwise, laser lighting is another new feature. So if I blue beam this, I've got blue lighting, and if my lasso has yellow lighting, so that hopefully adds to the aesthetics of the game. Lighting costs a lot of power for iOS, so I'm very fortunate to be able to pull these couple of lightings off. It does drop a few frame rates, but at the cost of a few frames, I think it's cool to have these guys. So the laser lighting, whoops, thanks bud. Okay, and then not only does it light up, it also fades away. So the yellow light fades in and fades away as well. So that had to be manually scripted. So instead of popping in and out, it gradually fades in and gradually fades out. Otherwise, we got a new creep. So thanks to Nick for the gameplay tips. He felt that everything had to be, you know, instant. Holding onto this blue laser was probably one of the least favorite mechanics. So it's sped up a bit more. I've sped it up before, but it's now even more sped up. So hopefully it doesn't resort to replacing it. But yeah, now we've got one more mechanic. These what I call lanterns. So if I light up these lanterns, okay, these are just single tap mechanics. So we've got triple tap, which is these red guys here, triple taps. We've got slicing, we've got holding, and just to make it one more, I gave a single tap creep. With single tap creeps, they don't do combos, so you have to manually tap them one by one to sort of chain it up into a combo. The combo system's not ready yet, but that will be coming soon. Yeah, these lanterns hopefully will add a bit of more dynamics to the game. I've removed the tapping surface, so once again the gameplay has changed, so we're no longer clearing the nucleus anymore, and I want to try to experiment with something later so that this game is about getting a high score, and how can we keep on playing more and more to get the high score. But yeah, as you can see, we'll no longer be able to clear the surface, so that means I have to replace that tappable surface with these little subtle circles. So previously, these circles were bright lit, which looked like it was tappable, but now that just got quickly changed so that, and also it used to be scaling down. So now see these subtle circles, they're scaling up, which sort of gives that nice countdown effect before the next respawn. Whereas scaling down looked a bit weird. So a lot of subtle changes just to make the aesthetics more pleasant. So these scaling up circles. And it's really nice as well because once it scales up, it looks like it lights up that circle. Bing! And that's a really cool effect as well. But yeah, that's all there is to this so far. So now we've got 4 creeps. Well, I call it virus creeps. So I've got this lantern guy, and maybe one day we'll get 5 because 5 is an awesome number. So maybe 5 will be the maximum. And yeah, hopefully there will be an upcoming big feature implemented soon that will hopefully be a game changer to this game. But otherwise, that's it for this video update. Thank you.